So many people have asked me this question. If the guitar Paul Davis played was not the Monteray, where is it? That's the question I'm going to try to answer today. I also have another very interesting revelation for you at the end of this video, so stay tuned. This is quite a tricky question to answer, but a lot of people have suggested where the demise of the Monteray happened. What's more, there are several verified comments about it from multiple sources. There is even a news story about it. It's alleged that the Monteray was burned and smashed on the 13th of August 1967, less than 2 months after the Monterey Pop Festival on the 18th of June of the same year. It seems such a shame that such a special guitar lasted for such a short time. Here is the story believed to be the demise of the Monterey Strat.
Hendrix's DC debut was on August 9, 1967, at the long-defunct Ambassador Theatre, supported by Natty Bumppo. The guitarist and his band, the Jimi Hendrix Experience, had just endured a brief stint as the opening act for the Monkees, and were scrambling to find gigs. They played 5 shows at the Ambassador, including an August 10th appearance at a free afternoon youth festival. One of the fans at Hendrix's August 13th performance was a then-teenaged Nils Lofgren, a future guitarist for Bruce Springsteen's E Street Band, who rushed over to the Ambassador after attending a concert by The Who at Constitution Hall. In a 1995 interview with a Hendrix fanzine, Lofgren recalled that he also spotted The Who's Pete Townsend in the audience. Hendrix came out, and none of us really knew anything about him apart from he was supposed to be this magical guitarist, Lofgren said. When Hendrix announced that his first number would be a cover of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, Lofgren and his friends were puzzled. They couldn't figure out how he could play the song without the horns, strings, and other layers of sound that the Beatles had created in the studio. But they soon discovered Hendrix's almost preternatural ability to elicit an oral onslaught from his instrument. After a blistering set, amid the pounding chords, to the last song, Wild Thing, he knelt and made his burnt offering, then smashed the instrument on the stage. The violent act exhilarated, but also shocked, those who were present. After a 6-month frolic, the Ambassador closed in January 1968, driven out of business by unforeseen logistical hassles and management burnout. It was demolished and replaced by a bank plaza. The Sunday performance at the Ambassador is believed by some aficionados to be the last time he ever burned a guitar on stage. The sacrificial instrument split into pieces. Someone in the crowd grabbed the neck, while the body of the black Strat went on display in the lobby. Hendrix signed the white pickguard, "Good luck, be cool, Jimi Hendrix," August 13, 67. At the moment of combustion and destruction that last night in the Ambassador, a string popped off the instrument. Phil Wood scooped it up. He keeps it coiled in a clear plastic guitar string case on a shelf in his office. "For so many friends of mine who play, it's like this relic," Wood says. "If they hold their hands over it, something mystical will happen. It's the high E string, the most fragile, the one for scaling sonic peaks. It bears a bit of char."
So it's widely held that the guitar met its end at the Ambassador Theatre on August 13th. This story has been reported by the NBC News Channel in Washington, D.C. What's more, we have a photo taken by Dr. Virginia Vertes showing a black Strat with a rosewood neck being burned. This was one of 4 photographs Vertes took that night.
Hi, I'm Virginia Vertes, and I'm here to wish happy birthday to Jimi Hendrix fans. I don't know where you were in 1967, but I was at the Ambassador Theatre in Washington, D.C., taking these beautiful pictures of Jimi Hendrix. I found out only recently that it was said that it was a legend that he burned his guitar the 3rd time at the Ambassador Theatre. He had burned it in England and nobody took a picture. There were videos at the Monterey Pop Festival. And shortly after that, in August, he burned his guitar, and I was there to take a close-up of him, and this lovely picture of him with his cigarette on the end of his guitar string and the smoke in the foreground, the entire band, and finally Hendrix burning his guitar.
Let's have a closer look at the photo of the guitar being burned. As we can clearly see, it's a black Strat with a rosewood neck. Further evidence comes from Joel Mednick, who allegedly held on to the guitar body until it was later stolen from him.
"I was the owner of the Ambassador Theatre." A good account of the event of Jimi's arrival was printed in the Washington Post Sunday magazine, July 18, 2013. When Jimi Hendrix came to Washington and blew its mind. My own experiences, and there were many, was introducing them and staying on the stage during the entire set. I ducked behind a curtain and stood only a few feet away from Jimi. Whenever I hear any of those early songs, I can go back to those times as if it happened yesterday. He set his guitar on fire at the end, smashed it on his amps. Later on that night in my office, he signed the guitar to Joel, Stay As Cool As You Are. Jimi Hendrix, August 13, 1967. I would like to have that guitar back, it was stolen many years later. If anyone has ambassador photos of that event, it would be nice to submit them to the Jimi Hendrix archive. It would be nice to have the ambassador mentioned when his story is being told. They performed 3 45-minute sets a night for 5 nights.
What a shame that guitar body was stolen. I've tried to get in touch with Mr. Mednick, but without any luck so far. If you're watching this, Joel, it'd be great if you have any photos of that guitar body. Another audience member had the neck of the guitar, and I'm looking into finding that too. Photos of the neck would definitely verify it was the Monteray, as we could compare them with the grain as we did in my previous video. A guy by the name of Phil Wood still has the top E string from that guitar.
He picks it up and he whacks it on the stage and the neck comes off and chunks of wood are flying out. But a string broke, as they're prone to do, and it came flying and it hit me right in the chest. And so I reached down, I picked it up and I coiled it up and I put it in my pocket.
On that night there were also rock royalty present, as Pete Townsend and John Entwhistle from The Who were playing support to Herman's Hermits at the nearby Constitution Hall. When they finished their set, they went to see Jimi play.
So John Entwhistle, myself, and Pete Townsend, we went to the Ambassador Theater, which was on Columbia Road. We sat right in the front. It was just unbelievable.
What a special night that was. And I think that Jimi, knowing Pete was in the audience, made the decision to reprise his antics of the Monterey Pop Festival by burning and smashing his guitar. To double check that this guitar was the Monterey, we only need to look at the strap. Here is a photo of the Monterey Strat at Monterey. Notice the red strap. Here is a clearer photo of it with the strap even clearer. Now let's look at that guitar on fire again at the Ambassador's Theatre. Do you see the red strap? In all the photos of Hendrix with the Monterey guitar, it has this distinctive red strap with the buckles on it. From Monterey to Golden Gate Park, it has the red strap. I've looked at so many photos of Hendrix with his guitars and every single one seems to have a unique strap. I've not seen this red strap on any other Hendrix guitar, but don't take my word for it, go and check for yourselves. There was a similar white buckle strap on his white guitar, but never a red one. Sadly, all the stars seem to align to show that the Monterey Strat was smashed and burned on 13th of August 67. I'll be back with more on this guitar really soon. In the next video, I might have a revelation that could prove the guitar Justin has could be a Hendrix. Stay tuned to see that. In the meantime, you take good care.